No way did someone actually post this and think, yes, that's a dunk on those British. But then the guy's name is Brad, and there are Americans out there that generally think this waffle, so let's get right into this, shall we? You guys are never ever going to give the Dutch, the Spanish and the French the credit for basically saving your ass, are you? Say what you want about a 13-colony lead. Long after the Dutch, the Spanish and the French helped you get your independence, those pesky Brits then went on to control so much territory it was the equivalent of 93% of the moon's total surface area. Over 50 colonies, dominions, territories or protectorates. Meanwhile, you guys ended up having a civil war over whether or not you should continue slavery. Not to mention the British weren't actually that interested in keeping you. It wasn't worth fighting the Dutch, the Spanish and the French over territory which to them was too big and too little resources. Speaking of too meagre, how many more times are you guys going to pretend that you won the War of 1812? The Americans tried to take on the British Empire and started attacking their Northern American colonies, so Canada. They failed, and then the British went on to set fire to the White House and occupy the capital city. Something that no other country has ever done in US history. And yet the Americans still think they won the War of 1812. No, they lost. They 100% lost. I should also mention, whilst this was happening, the British were also taking on Napoleon in Europe. The Americans sued for peace in 1814. Your President Madison wanted the British to turn Canada over to the United States. How did that work out for you? So as far as I'm concerned, the British successfully defended their colonies. Therefore, it's a win for the British again. Take the L. Owned by Germany in World War II, saved by the US. Go back to school, mate. Just go back to fucking school. Again, how many times now do I have to explain to you guys, you are not the Rohirrim in Lord of the Rings. You did not come in and save the day at the last minute. Battle of Britain took place between the end of July 1940 until the end of October 1940. If you want to be generous and include the Blitz, it goes up to May 1941. The United States stayed out of World War II and effectively became an isolationist state until the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor at the end of 1941. The Germans had a plan called Operation Sea Lion, which never actually happened because the Battle of Britain was a colossal failure. A land invasion of the United Kingdom. The Luftwaffe just kept on getting their asses handed to them by those pesky Brits. They could not achieve air superiority. But at the same time, I'm going to give a shout out to the various squadrons and volunteers from other countries that took part in the Battle of Britain to fight for freedom against tyranny. You know, actual freedom against tyranny, not just invading other countries for oil. And also quickly, before someone jumps to the comment section, Lend-Lease did not happen until after the Battle of Britain. So yeah, the British won that without any help from you. No one gives a damn about your Super Bowls. Queen was treated with more respect than any of your US presidents. And you have never won a war by yourself.